Hey everyone, it's me Laura from The Papered Soul, and I had wanted to come to show y'all or continue on with my little process video of the journal I'm making with the kit from Marilou Porch Swing Designs, and it's called Rosewood Cottage. And I've been wanting to get to you a couple of days, even before a couple of days ago, but then, and I was all ready to do it. And I was setting my camera up and everything like that. And life started to just spit at me. And I said spit, S-P-I-T. And you know how it is when life just wants to start giving you a hard time in other areas of your life. So that's just how it is, and I think we all go through that, and I had to just forego the video and pack it all in, and I thought, well, I hope everybody will hang in there with me and wait for my next installment. I have my coffee. This is kind of my coffee series, and you might think it's silly, but I'm going to tell you something. The reason that I thought, coffee and chatting about the crafting and about the process for my journal and how I do it, and it doesn't mean that I do this every single time the same way, because every kit, every design is going to bring you different ideas and will inspire you differently, and so it might take you off into a different direction. But I'm kind of sharing some of the basics of how I've gathered my papers and what I think about when I'm looking at the images, and how ideas pop up and just that type of thing. But what I really wanted to kind of say is, when you think about having a cup of coffee, you kind of think about a break, taking some time, step away from the doldrums of every single day and all the have-to-dos and the should-dos. And we have a lot of wonderful videos I'm so thankful for out there on YouTube. And even I cannot find a way to get to all of them like I want to, but you know how you kind of save it to your favorites and you want to go back and watch it later because life is so busy. I'm going to try to be, for myself, I've saved a lot of favorite videos, and I'm going to try to maybe watch 1 to 2 videos a day and do that for myself. And I'm going to try to watch them completely through, because I really believe that if you don't watch a video completely through, you may miss something. You might miss the very thing that will inspire you off into another direction. So I want to encourage you. It's kind of like a mindset, and we all need it. I need it. I'm talking to myself too. Take the time. If you find someone that you like to watch their videos, you feel like they can offer you something up, get you a cup of coffee or a cup of hot tea or whatever you want. Put your feet up and really just take the moments for yourself. You, as a creative person, as a creative soul, deserve it. You deserve it. You're getting everything else done in life and everything like that. You deserve to take some time. Now, I will tell you a quick thing why this is on my mind. I was on the elliptical, actually, and a lot of times we'll watch some videos on the elliptical. I'm not on the elliptical as much as I should be, so maybe that's how I'm going to get my videos in. But I was watching Pink Eyed Birds, she made a wonderful journal. All of her journals are wonderful, but she made a wonderful journal, and it was about space, outer space, and I didn't get to finish watching it. So, I finished my exercise, and her video, the way I timed it or whatever, her video was still going. She had a lot to show us because she had done a lot. And so I knew I did not want to not finish watching that video. So it did take me probably a couple of weeks to get back to it, and it bothered me, but I did it. So I did get back on, and I did finish watching that video, and I'm so glad I did, because she just kept having all these wonderful, elements to every page and creative ideas and everything. So I want to encourage you to start, it's easier said than done, But quit letting life run you and you start running life, because I know there's going to be times where things pop up and you just positively can't help it. But within every bit of power that you do have, and a lot of you may already have this down pat. I'm obviously still struggling with it. But, you know, take the time that you need for yourself, and don't feel guilty about it. Get something warm to sip on, put your feet up and say, this is my time, and I'm gonna watch this video. I'm not going to get interrupted, and everything else can wait. If the phone rings, make it wait. They'll leave you a message, and you know, it'll be fine. So I just wanted to share that with you, because I know that everyone, you know, there's a lot to show and everything like that. So try to find time to watch these videos to their completion, because you really may be cheating yourself out, something that you may miss, you know, by just not watching hardly any of it. Just watching like 6 minutes of it and I'm done. All right, so I say all that, and I hope I didn't bore you, but that was just on my heart. So what I'm going to do first, I have a little tutorial that I want to do today. But before I do, I'm just going to go ahead and show you what I've done. My lighting is a little different today because it's very rainy here and very cloudy outside. So I put a daylight kind of thing off to the side because I didn't want it casting shadows. My coffee cup might be casting shadows. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just flip through and show you a few things that I have managed to get done. This is a process video. You're probably going to say to me, Laura, you're not done with that journal yet. How is that possible? And I'm going to say, well, it's a process video. So I said in the beginning, I'm not overly, I'd like to go faster than I'm going, but I'm not overly in a hurry, and I'm not going to worry about it. There's enough in life that stresses us out, and I'm just not going to let my creativity be one of them. So I had to take a sip of coffee. All right, so let me get this out of the way so to make sure it doesn't block any shadows. All right, I have done some sewing. So I've done some sewing elements where I backed a lot of the elements from her kit with some coffee dye paper, and I did, you know, some sewing all around the edges because I like to do that. It gives it a little more sturdiness to the image and everything like that. This particular image is, I believe Marilou called it a pocket, a tag pocket. And it, you know, it kind of reminds me of a coin envelope, and I've already put it together, inked it and all of that. And she's got like a little spot here where you can punch a hole there and, you know, put ribbon there or whatever you may want to do. Now, I had already folded that, so what I think I'm going to do, this is the card that goes with it, and it will go inside. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to use these as separate elements in my journal. I'm going to put this somewhere else, and I'm going to have this sitting there with a pretty ribbon on it, and then I'll just tuck away some other little fun elements. So that's what I think I'm going to do with those. But I think she intended that when she created them for them to come together, and you know, or be used together, but you can do whatever in the world you want to with these kits. That's the beauty of it. It's your kit. You can do what you want to with it. If you're interested in this series and following along with me, and I hope you are, check Marilou's comments, because there might be something that I say that she might want to add to, or you know, clarify if she thinks, oh, wait a minute, that's not what I intended for my kit, because she is the creator of this kit. She's the designer, so that she can give you some other ideas of something if I end up using something differently. I'm gonna flip through real quick, and what I have gotten done so far, I've done some edge punching. This is a page that I pretty much oh, you know what? I need to sew that, so I will pull that out and sew it later. But I made this little pocket, and I'm going to show you this little pocket. I'm going to show it to you in a little bit. I'm going to do a tutorial on this, but I won't show you in a little bit. Let me just flip through. I've not done some edge punching there. That's a flip out. I have not completely done all of my edge punching. There's a pocket there with one of her little corner pocket elements. I'll probably put maybe just some lace or something on this page, but I don't think I'm going to do anything else with it. I just love the look of this pattern paper with that image. There's some edge punching that I've done. Here is, I haven't glued it yet, but this is like, you know, your little tuck spot, corner tuck spot. And what I did sew it, and I cut another piece, or put a smaller piece of paper in there so that you'll have like a little flip, flip, flip that you can actually journal in, and I just put a little seam down the middle of that. So I will glue that in, and then it will be, you know, it'll hold my little tag there that I sewed, and it'll hold that. And I just thought that was a pretty page. I thought the colors in this tag picked up that. The green, there's green back in this area, and then that's why I used that green pattern paper. I've tucked some of her elements in on the pages where I want to do something with them. So I've got an idea in mind for that one, so I'm just setting that there. I've edge punched that. And edge punch that one. I still may take a little more off, but I'm just waiting until, you know, the inspiration hits me. There'll be things on these pages too, probably. You know, maybe even some stamping or things like that. I've tucked that there. It's just paper clipped in. I'm just getting a feel for looking at it when I flip through it. You know, do I want it there? There's some more edge punching. This is the center of the signature. This is one of her, well, I call it a coin envelope, but like I say, check Marilou's comments, because she'll kind of let me know one way or the other if I'm getting it right or if she intended it for something else. But I think I told you in the previous ones, what I did was this flap was open, and before I folded it, I backed it with some coffee dye paper so that it would be sturdy, and then I just glued the sides, and that way I have a pocket for this. So I have a pocket here, and then of course, you know, I can put something else in there, my little envelope. So I think what I'll probably end up doing is keeping this paper clipped right here. I may move it, who knows. And then you've got a pretty little, you'll have a pretty little tuck right there. So we'll just see. I've not finished my edge punching. That's kind of, this might be a little bit where I'm still playing around and adding some of her elements in and getting a feel for what I like, you know, what the layout looks like. I did edge punch that. I think I still need to do that. I've got a couple of cards here I'm trying to decide what to do with, you know. So I just tuck them in those little areas, and then I'll figure it out. They may never even end up here. They may end up somewhere else. So here's my pocket. I went on and got that taken care of. On the flip side of that, I've got this little piece here, and I think that I've decided that that's where I want to put, you know, this little corner tuck here. And as you know, the rest is just, you know, pretty much still trying to figure out. So you can see where I kind of petered out a little bit. I started doing my edge punching, and I kind of didn't finish. I kind of ran out of time at that moment, and so I said, well, I'm going to show you guys what I've done. What I want to do now is a quick tutorial. I will show you this in just a second. I'll show it to you in a minute what I did. So let's do a quick tutorial. So I have, and I, you know, like I say, I went on and prepped a lot of this stuff that I want. Just gathered a few things and prepped it so it's not going to be lengthy. But that I did was a pocket. You know, what I had in my journal was just like a singular pocket. I'll show it to you in a minute, and all I had was, you open it up. I'm going to show you, well, you know what? I'm going to show you the pocket, and I'll tell you why. That way you'll know where I'm going with it. So what I did is I ran a ribbon up under here. I have not I'm going to tack it down so it won't slide back and forth, but I haven't done that yet. But anyway, so this little pocket, it's a pocket for my tag. And then when you lift it up, I know we have seen in videos before where there's more paper in there, extra paper, then I added another one, okay? So there's all this little journaling space here, okay? But the other thing that I did is I made pockets out of it. So the more I was thinking, I was like, what else can I do with this? So instead of just having papers in there, what I did was I glued just the sides and then the bottom. And so this is a pocket. So you can not only write all over this, you can tuck something down in that pocket. Okay? So then when you open this one, you can do all your journaling. This is a pocket. Okay? And then that's the last one. So, I know there's a lot of videos out there. I have not seen anyone do that. So, I felt inspired on that when I was working on it. And I put the ribbon on there to keep it from popping open. So The other thing, so I can make this as a pocket like that at the bottom of a page, but what I actually decided to do is you can even create one of these and have it floating where you can put it in another little tuck spot, or you can glue it to a page like that, open it up, have your, so I think that's what I had intended for this. This was a piece of paper that basically was already, it was one of my offcuts, and it was already going to fit on one of the pages width-wise just perfectly. So I just grabbed a hold of it and started playing with the folding. So I folded this side and just to see how thick I wanted it. So that's where these papers are going to go. So what I did is I cut a piece of paper that would come in just a little bit. I inked it and I put a little design on it. I don't know if you can see my little edge punching, but anyway, I edge punched it and I inked all of this ahead of time. So then what you do is I just came in and I measured some paper and then just cut it so that it would come in just a little bit on the edges, okay? So what I'm gonna do, and then what I did also is at the seam, I wanted to make sure it didn't stick out down here. I wanted to make sure it wasn't gonna stick out. I had some extra here that I was just going to cut off flush, which is what I did with this one, and I just made it like a little flip up. But I thought I'm going to fold it over when I get done. The booklet's going to be folded over, and we're going to decorate that outside. So that paper doesn't stick out, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and make a pocket out of this inside too. So I am just going to fold the paper over and just glue the sides. Well, and you know what I think? Oh, I'm also going to go ahead and just glue the bottom because we're making a pocket. So, I'm trying to learn to always put my cap back on my Fabri-Tac, because I'm going to tell you what, that stuff will ooze out. And if I could have one thing back, it would be all of my Fabri-Tac glue that has oozed out over the years out of the top of the bottle, and you're not ready to use it, and then you lose it. If I could get all that glue back, I think I'd have probably a couple of bottles. Anyway, enough of that. Okay, so now I've glued it to where there's a pocket, but then this flips up for writing. So now I take my next one, and I did the same thing. I measured it and I came in a little bit, so it just gets smaller. The paper pages get smaller and smaller, and I'm going to do the same thing with it. So I'm going to fold that up, flip it on the back side, and we're going to glue a pocket on that one. So it's a pocket and a pocket and a pocket, and then you also get all of this wonderful writing space. And I just put it right up at the seam. And I make sure there's enough. I don't know if y'all can see what I'm doing. I hope you can. And then I'm just making sure that it's about the same amount of space on each side. And then I press down. Okay, so now I have another flip up, but I also have another pocket. And so we're going to do the same thing. And again, this one I came in and I had a little bit, it was a little bit smaller. So each time I just came in a little bit and trimmed my paper down. So you can kind of see the graduated getting smaller and smaller. Now, I can make another pocket of this. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Or I could have just left the piece of paper in there. But, and like just attached it at the seam. But I wanted a pocket within a pocket within a pocket, and then page after page after page. So, okay. So now, when I fold that over, then this is what I have. When you first open it up, you have your page that you can write on, and then you have your little space that you can tuck something in. You can put some paper in there and just tuck a little message in there, okay? Then I have, that was it. Okay, so when you open, you know, like you open it all the way up, there you go. That's the open piece. You can write there all over here, and you got a pocket. You can write some glue there. You can write all over all of that. You got a pocket. Write all over that. You got a pocket. Okay, and so then what I was gonna do was I had some excess, so then I had the decision to make of either cutting it off and just making that the booklet that it was going to be, however I wanted it, or I could hang on to that and flap it over, which is what I decided to do. And I didn't flap it all the way over, so it's got a little bit of space down here. What I want to do with that is, because what I'm going to do, what I may do, I'm going to put some things on it so that it'll stay closed, because otherwise it'll flop open. So, you know, I got my trims out and I started thinking, well, I had thought about doing edge punching here, but I decided what I was going to do was keep it, you know, just straight edged. And then I was going to try to find some trim that I thought would be pretty. And I decided on this one, okay? And so what I'm going to do is just glue this trim. Now, a lot of times, you got to make sure you got the right side of the trim, because it can be a little confusing. And me, I have to get my little readers, and I believe this is the right side. So what I'm going to do, I went on ahead and cut. See what my glue was doing? It's spitting out at me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a little bit of glue, and I'm going to try to use the edge that's oozing out a little bit just to get me started. I just hate to waste. And sometimes, see, I forgot to put my lid back on. I have a hard time with that because I get so excited about what we're doing. So I better put it on there. It's going to keep oozing out at me. So anyway, I'm just going to put this at the edge. And like I say, I pre-cut it so y'all wouldn't have to worry about watching me pre-cut. I'm trying to save some time. And I usually will just kind of get it started. And Fabri-Tac is great when you're using your textiles and fabrics and laces and whatnot. And then I can, once it's secure a little bit, then I can come in and just do my little bit of, just a little line of glue is what I want to do. Just a little line. And then I just try to let it relax. I try to pull it straight, but without pulling it too much where it will warp your paper. Okay. All right. And then what I will do is trim my little pieces so that they'll be flush with the paper. There we go. I think we're getting it. Okay. All right, so now I have that part of my element, but it's still going to flip up. So I have another little idea. And what I did, and I will ink this, I'm going to put my lid on my glue. This is, you know, just one of my little distressors, and y'all know we talked about distressing. It's not something you have to do, but it really does finish your piece off. It adds dimension. It also, if you like the vintage look, it vintages it up. If you don't like the vintage look, you can use different colors. I mean, there's beautiful colors out there. And, you know, blues or whatever. I could do this with pink or whatever. It doesn't have to be a vintage look. Okay, so I've inked, what this was a cutout. What I did, this is what I did. I've got some excess papers from my pattern papers that I'm working with this kit. And I just glued them a little bit onto some cardstock, 110-pound cardstock, glued it just a little, not a lot of glue. And then I came in, and once it was dry, I came in with my punch, and it's like a little, kind of like a little flower punch. This is one of my favorite punches. And gosh, I think this is this EK6, I can't remember what, oh, wait. It's the Paper Studio, so that's from Hobby Lobby, okay? So anyway, it has just a nice flower shape that it gives you. And so that's what I have. So I was playing around with different colors. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And so I thought, I have decided on the pink one instead of the red one. Okay, the red's pretty too. What I think I'm gonna do with this, I've got one of my crochet flowers, and I'm gonna just kind of layer my crochet flower on top of this, and then I'm gonna put this button here, a little pink button on top. So I'm just forming a fun little pretty closure for this little booklet. The crochet, if you don't crochet, and it's not something that you want to pick up, it's really a lot of fun. If it's something you want to pick up, there's lots of videos out there for how to, you know, crochet all kinds of different things. And so I have started adding them to my shop. I've got a big old bag full of all kinds of things that I still need to finish up, tie the little tails off of them and everything. But they add another texture element to your journals, your journal pages, and your embellishments. So I have, you know, I like that. So I just thought I would try to play with this pretty little, and it does seem crazy to put glue on one of your crocheted projects, but they're so pretty on it. So I don't put a lot. I just put a little around the edge, just enough that you feel like it will hold onto your little element. So let me make sure I get it centered. Okay. All right, and then I want a pretty button for the middle, and I went through my button stash and found me a pretty little pink because I thought that would be pretty with the gray and the pink on that. So I'm just gonna take a little, get the right side of my button, and then I'm just gonna put a little bit of the fabric tack on my button. There's, I guess, easier ways you can do it. I probably could have just put it straight on my flower. And then I'm just going to put this little button here in the middle. And you probably can't see. And I'm just going to press it. And make sure it gets adhered together. All right, and so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take probably about two little petals of the cardboard there, or the cardstock, I should say, and I'm going to center it. You can put it wherever you want. You can do it at the bottom, you know, at the top or anywhere, but I just think on this one I'm going to center it as best I can, and I'm going to put some glue on these little two petals down here, and that's all I'm going to do, because I want this to be able to freely flip out and then freely flip under, and that will hold my booklet closed. So let me get my glue. Like I said, I'm not gonna put a lot, you know, just a little on each little petal. Fabric tack is very, very strong. You'd be surprised how well it will hold things. So that's all I'm gonna do. So these are my two petals. I have the glue. And make sure it's as centered as it can be. And there you go. Now, fabric tack reminds me of that cement glue that we grew up with, where you had the brush and the bottle and everything. And I find that if it oozes out at all, which it will, you know, sometimes will, that if I just do like that, it'll just ball up and roll up, and then you can pretty much get it off of there. So there we have our little fun little booklet there. That allows you more journaling space. It's decorative, it's pretty. And then the next thing you want to do is just kind of figure out, where in the world do I want this, you know, in this book. So that's going to be another element that I get to play around with. I think there was one where I actually thought I could put it in a page, or I could put it in a pocket. It just depends. Or I could just, like, you know, glue it here. Or I could let it be floating and have it create a pocket somewhere and just, you know, let someone use it like that. You can glue it. I could just glue the back of this here, here, and here and form another pocket. Or just down these two sides and then form a little tuck spot up here for a little tag or whatever. But anyway, I just thought that was fun. I'm still letting it dry, but you see where I'm going with this. It's closed. It keeps it closed and it's pretty. So it's functional and pretty at the same time. And then when you open it up, you've got all this writing space, all that journaling in a pocket, all the journaling in a pocket. This one kind of got stuck. That's okay, because some of that glue oozed out, and then all that journaling. So that was my little tutorial today, and I hope that it inspired you to some degree to get out just a few little elements, and it doesn't take much to start pulling things out and then start decorating, and then you have something really, really, really pretty to put into your journal. So anyway, I hope I've inspired you somehow today, whether it be, you know, not letting life control you. It's going to control you to a certain point, but there's a lot of times I think we can control our time better. I don't know if y'all have this on your iPhone, but my iPhone has a new, I guess, download now that tells me how many hours a day I'm on my phone. And I'm not going to give you a number, but that number needs to come down. That's all I'm going to say. So that was an eye-opener for me, because you start thinking of all the time, I need to be on social media. I want to be on social media because I need to stay in touch with everyone. I need to stay in this community so we can share things. I can comment on your beautiful creations and things like that, but I've got to have, you know, I think I would be more productive if I wasn't on there as much. So we just have to do the best we can. So I hope I've inspired you in some way today, and I hope you've enjoyed this little video. If you've not liked or not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel if you think that you enjoy or feel like you enjoy some of the things that I bring to you and have to say. And like my video if you haven't done that yet. But you can hit the bell. There's a little bell icon on there that you can hit, and it will let you know and give you notifications when there are videos out by the people that you really love to watch. So click that if you so feel like doing it. And you know, another thing too, a giveaway is going to be coming soon, and you never know when it's going to come. And so you may just have to make sure you watch all the videos through and through, because you never know when a giveaway might be announced. So y'all take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.